there is progress, but I don't know whether it's always in the right direction or that something better could have been done. Because the Goa of my time was a Goa that was peaceful. All these politics which are ruining the place, they were not there. It was easier to communicate, easier to do whatever you wanted to do. Today you have politicians barging in and doing things for you instead of you being able to do it yourself. And then the people also were different at that time. There was more of give and take. Now what happens from across the borders, people have come in and all that. It has changed so much that sometimes when I stand at the window and I look out, I hear people talking so many different languages. And then suddenly somebody will say, speak Konkani. And I say, hey, that fellow is a Goenka. But it makes me feel so happy to think, because today you hardly hear people talking Konkani. You know. Everybody is talking Kannada or Tamil or something, or their employees also are like that, because every boards have somehow disappeared from the scene. But it is a different Goa. I wish the old Goa would come back.
When your personal turmoil came in your life, that time, it must have been quite unacceptable for Goan society to think of a divorce and things like that.
Oh yes.
So it must have been very tough on.
It was very tough. My mother was, bulwark of strength. She told me, she said, you have taken this decision. Now you go ahead, but be very strong. Because the society is not equipped to take something like this. It's not happening. So she said, if you've decided that you're going to put the case in the court and you're going to settle your life, she said, be prepared for big bats. There'll be many throwing stones at you. But remember one thing, she said, you're a mother of 5 children. So they will always look towards that angle. Educate your children well, and people will say, what a good mother. I never forgot that advice of hers. And I felt that even till today, even when my grandchildren are concerned, I feel happy that I have done the mission well fulfilled.
Any regrets if you had to do things differently?
No.
Would you have still been a radio announcer if you...
Yes, I would do everything the same way again.
Provided the radio was as popular now.
Yes, yes, really, as popular.
It was extremely popular in that sense, even more powerful than newspapers in those days.
Very.
Television and everything.
Yes,
it was the only medium that was local.
But everybody was happy also at the station, no bickering and no things like that. When I was asked to come back to the radio here, I received a letter because the station director was Mr. Murthy, and they had recorded my voice in Delhi when reading the news and all that. So they brought that recording here and they asked the staff, where is this lady?
I see.
There was one Mr. Dias who was an English announcer who stayed back. So he was asked, where is this lady? So he said, she's gone with the children. Will she not come back? So he said, I presume she will come back because her whole family is here. Husband is not gone. Husband also is here, so she might return. So the station director said, see if you can reach her.
I see.
Tell her that we are holding her post for her if she decides to come back. So there what was happening, they were asking me to sign a contract.
I see.
To stay on in Portugal.
For how many years?
Permanent contract to continue there.
I see.
And my brother was with me and he said, I don't think this will work. Remember that you've got properties there in Goa and one doesn't know what will happen. So we told that official who interviewed me, regretted very much. I said, I'm very happy here. But I'm very sad that I have to leave you also because I have to go because of my properties and all that. And those things have to be settled. They were very nice to me. And when I came back here, the station director also was very nice, very pleasant. He said, thank you for returning. I said, I'm pleased to be back home. So he said, you take off from where you left.
So who are the best radio announcers in your time, both in Emissora de Goa and in post 61? In your opinion, who are the best? Who do you remember? Who do people remember? Apart from you. Both Portuguese and after 61.
There was Mr. Dias. I don't know if you know him.
No,
He's from Sangolda,
I see. Announcer
announcer.
in Portuguese times?
No, in Portuguese times.
Yeah.
We were both admitted at the same time when the Portuguese put out an announcement saying that they were interviewing announcers for English programs.
I see.
So he applied and I also applied. There was a big, about 79 or 80 people with applications to enter as broadcasters. Only 2 were selected.
I see.
Mr.
56,
Dias.
1956,
No, this was in 1960.
60.
It came
Okay.
Emissora de Goa.
Okay.
So government had taken over now, so they were having new staff and
I see.
recruiting new staff. So I applied and I got selected.
Yeah.
Mr. Dias had a very good voice,
I see. And good in
Very
English
deep.
also?
good English. He was always in Karachi and
I
then abroad most of the time,
Yeah.
the Gulf, American company. So very good voice. And there was another lady also who was working, Winnie Almeida from Delhi.
I see.
She went with me to Portugal. She stayed back. Then she retired from Emissora de Goa. The Portuguese, there were no announcers that were broadcasting in English except Portuguese. But some of them were really good
I see.
voices. There was one Alfred Cunha. This Alfred Cunha was on the air when the
Bombarding happened.
bombarding transmitter.
I see.
When the bomb was put there, this
I see.
fellow had just identified the station,
I see.
and then the radio was silenced.
I
So
see.
those people who went from here, they never came back, of course, those Portuguese announcers. But when I was there, I used to meet them occasionally. They had not joined the radio there. I don't know for what reason.
I see.
They were not on the radio.
And after 61, who are the names you remember? Among the from
61. Company announcers, there were Alan Costa.
yeah.
Alan Costa was there. Then there was one Purushottam Singhbal.
I see.
Company announcers.
I see.
English announcers, there were not many who actually stood out as such, which I remember. Portuguese, of course, hardly.
Yeah.
You could pick and choose. But then also, most probably, they didn't need so many announcers because they had cut down on
Programs were few, just once a week.
yes,
And,
programs were few. Maybe in English or maybe in Portuguese also.
yeah.
Portuguese, they cut off very fast.
Yeah.
One request program in Portuguese was kept for some time. But that was to humor those Portuguese-speaking people.
Okay. And Renaissance was there for only on Friday night. Renaissance before your program.
Yes,
Renaissance used to come on.
Renaissance was there. But Renaissance also started losing ground because you couldn't get participants.
I see.
Because there were you had to really search for them. When I went and last and met the station director, much after I left, I was asking him, he says, the Goans will say that we have cut off Renaissance because it is Portuguese. He says, Mrs. Tavora, you can't find people to participate in this program. Those who were participating in my time had either left
I see.
or they were dead.
I see.
So that was the situation.
So what next in terms of writing? Any plans or?
At the moment I'm writing on Emissora de Goa.
I see. I see. Very interesting.
Yes, there's lots to write. And then Oscar Norona, he is the one who suggested what they have to do.
Good idea. Very
Why
good.
don't you write on Emissora? I said it had not occurred to me. He says nobody will know more than you do about Emissora de Goa.
In fact, your photo is still at the radio station. I think when you were in your 20s or something like that, playing the records. Have you seen that photo?
Yes.
It's in the showcase when you go there.
In All India Radio.
Yeah, on India Radio.
It's in the showcase when I'm putting
Yeah.
a record on.
Right. Right.
Yes, I've seen that.
I see.
I've seen it. Many people talk about that photograph.
Yeah.
So most probably when I write on Emissora de Goa,
You can use that for the
that
cover.
photograph will be there.
Yeah, for the cover.
Yeah, for the cover. But it makes me very happy to think that I can still think back of the radio with so much love, and think back of listeners who still say Imelda was a name.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.